Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive deep into a single fascinating diagram. It's basically a hand-drawn map that lays out the hidden machinery of our modern economy. It shows these two totally parallel universes for how money gets made. And there's this new force that's starting to rewrite all the rules. Let's jump in. Okay, I know. At first glance, this is a lot to take in, right? It's this whole web of boxes and arrows, but just think of this as our roadmap for the next few minutes. We're going to trace every path together, and I promise by the end, the logic behind this entire economic engine is going to be crystal clear. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll decode the basic building blocks. Then we're going to follow the money through the two main systems you see here, what the diagram calls the developed nation path and then the developing nation path. After that, we'll get to the real wild card, the AI agent. And finally, we'll zoom out and ask what this all means for the future. All right, first things first. Before we can really trace the flow of profit, we've got to understand the two core pillars that this entire map is literally built on. You see, everything in this model, every single connection, it all flows from two huge foundational concepts. Up at the top, you've got tech infrastructure. We're talking servers, the cloud, all the code. And then, way down at the bottom, there's physical infrastructure. Roads, bridges, power grids. One is digital, the other is physical, and they support two very, very different ways of creating value. So let's start by tracing the path that's probably going to feel the most familiar to a lot of us. We're looking at the top half of the diagram. This represents that classic engine of a developed, market-driven economy. So how is value actually created here? Well, it's a pretty clear chain reaction. Businesses build up brands to get into markets. Once they have a strong market presence, that leads to a public listing on the stock market, which in turn allows for share trading. That's the whole financial side of things. At the exact same time, these companies are selling actual products and services, which generates direct, tangible profit. It's kind of like a two-pronged attack on wealth creation. And what's fueling this whole engine? Well, it's powered by a formal labor force, which is often shaped and influenced by traditional media. The entire system runs on conventional money and currency, with our assets being managed by banks. Oh, and you'll notice that little offshoot for crypto? That's a pretty recent and very digital disruption to this otherwise super established financial structure. Now let's completely shift gears and look at the bottom half of the map. This path, which is really common in developing nations, operates on a totally different logic. It's building a distinct economic reality pretty much from the ground up. You can see the difference right away, can't you? This flow doesn't start with a private business. It starts with the government, which directs the economic activity. And the focus here isn't on abstract things like stock values. It's on the very real, tangible movement of physical goods through logistics and shipping. And the labor pool? It's not just a market force. It's a resource that's actively grown and cultivated through the education system. This is a top-down, real-world model. The social fabric here is also really unique. Labor is labeled as open source, which suggests a workforce that's maybe more decentralized, more collaborative, maybe less tied to a single formal job. And people aren't just seen as consumers. They're a direct economic force, all connected and mobilized through social media. It's a system that feels like it was born in the digital age. So, there you have it. Two massive engines running in parallel. You've got the market-driven financial system up top and the state-directed physical system down below. But if you look closely at the map, what if there's a third path emerging, one that doesn't really play by either set of rules? And that brings us to the most disruptive element on this entire map. Tucked away on the left side, there's a new player on the field, the AI agent. And this isn't just another box on the chart. It's a peek into an entirely new way of creating value. So what exactly is an AI agent, according to this map? Well, just look at where it's connected. It completely bypasses the stock market. It ignores government directives. It has no physical supply chain, none of that. Instead, it plugs directly into social media to interact with people and generate profit. It's a radically lean model that cuts out almost every single traditional middleman. The profit cycle here is just unbelievably fast and efficient. The AI agent interacts with people on social media, and that interaction itself generates profit directly. That money can then be routed through banks and immediately reinvested back into social media to fuel even more interactions. It's this powerful self-reinforcing loop that can scale at, well, the speed of the internet. And this is really the key takeaway. This isn't just some new business model. It's a new kind of value altogether. Profit is no longer just a side effect of making a product or shipping a physical good. In this model, the digital interaction is the source of value. It completely changes the game. Okay, let's pull back and look at the whole picture one last time now that we have all the pieces in place. This chart just puts it all in such sharp contrast. The developed model, it runs on the stock market, powered by formal employment through big corporations. The emerging model, on the other hand, runs on government direction and AI, powered by a much more flexible, open-source labor force connected through social media. One sells products, the other monetizes direct interaction. Two completely different worlds. And so here we are, back at our map, which I hope looks a lot clearer now. We can really see the two distinct worlds living on one page. The top half, a world of established legacy institutions, and the bottom half, a world built entirely on direct digital connection, a world where that AI agent is perfectly at home. But here's the thing. These two systems aren't just sitting there. They're competing, they're colliding, they're evolving as we speak. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question this map asks of us. As you look at the economy today, at your career, at your investments, which one of these worlds are you building your future in?